All right. Here we go. Hey guys, it's Sean. Yes, I'm here. Please concentrate on the audio and do not concentrate on the video tonight. As you can see, I'm headed somewhere, and there are some things that I wanted to teach back to you guys. Some things that I think you're going to benefit in the security industry. Notice I always change like names, dates, times, places, all that other stuff. For you guys that don't know, I work actively in law enforcement. I have a lot of experience in security and law enforcement. You're talking about 27 years. I think it's 27 years. It's a long time, guys. Those are not all law enforcement. That's combined security and law enforcement. Anyhow, I have some strategies to share with you guys on how I hate using the word de-escalate, because that is a term that's created by the media. That's a term where basically the media developed as a solution to seeing these, quote, unjustified events in security and law enforcement. We don't know what to call it. Oh, I'm sorry, we don't know what the solution is. We don't know how to provide a better solution because we have no experience in it. We're the media. So we'll just say that you failed to de-escalate or you didn't de-escalate. De-escalation involves reducing the intensity of a situation, reducing the intensity of an incident. And that is what I'm going to show you guys today. And I went from, just like the title goes, I went from being involved in many fights in my security, actually more law enforcement. Wait a minute, no, because I did hospital security. So the most brutal fights I've been in were hospital security, guys. By far, hospital security, not necessarily law enforcement. What was I going with this? Excuse me. So, are these strategies that can be learned? Or is there strategies that can be taught? And I would argue, yes, there is techniques. Again, I went from going into a lot of fights into almost nothing. So this is my strategy. Number one, obviously, if I can avoid the situation, then I won't be there. I mean, if I'm working private security, and especially if I'm by myself, right? And there's a situation that's heating up, my job in most circumstances is to observe and report. Observe and report. That is my job. I'm going to call 911. I'm going to call a supervisor. I'm going to call for backup. Or I'm going to just I'm going to just document the situation. You normally, as a private security officer, you normally don't have the same level of training experiences. And you sure enough, you don't have the same quality of training. I'm sorry, of mentors. Now that's an argument in itself. I mean, obviously, when I work hospital security, there are some really good people there that I work with, and they really knew what they're doing, and they were experienced in their own fields. But the first thing that I do is I address my body language. Now, obviously, officer safety is first. If you're armed, or if you're not armed, but you have a weapon, that weapon stays farthest between you and that individual. So, if I'm right-handed, my right foot goes back, and I'm going to put a slight bend in my knees. I wish I could demo that right now, but obviously I'm driving, as you can see. If you're left-handed or you're wrong-handed, it's vice versa. Okay, you just switch legs. My tone or my body language needs to be postured in such a way that I am really interested in hearing this person, listening to them. So instead of folding my arms, I'm gonna be open arms. Hey, not a problem. We can fix that. It's sorry guys, it's so hard to show that on camera in the dark. But anyhow, your body language is everything. Your arrival at the incident is everything too. Keep in mind that your adrenaline is spiked, your pulse is up, and that person that you have to de-escalate, they might be more calm than you. We see that a lot in a lot of these police body cams. You have to see, the key of de-escalation is de-escalating yourself first, and you'll do that with using combat breathing. You know, you're inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, and then inhale. I'm sorry, exhale and then hold. Inhale, hold 4 seconds. Every time you're exhaling or you're inhaling, you're holding in a box formation. It's so much easier if I have a dry erase board to show that, but please just work with me as much as you guys can. If I'm able to lower my heart rate, I can make a better decision. If my heart is beating 170 beats per minute, I'm not going to make the best decision. And I'm not going to be able to talk my way out of a situation. Next, I listen for the emotion and I don't listen for the words. So I might be the victim of being cussed out. Somebody throwing F-bombs at you is going to be common, especially if you're new in security or law enforcement. They're going to cuss you out. They're going to throw the F-bombs at you. Listen for the emotion. Don't listen for the words. So yes, your trainers, your mentors out there, those who are in charge of you might be saying, hey, you got to listen better, right? For me, I just cannot listen when somebody's getting into my space. They're screaming, they're yelling, they're cussing me out. It's very difficult, very challenging for me to listen to them. So what I'll do is I'll listen for the emotion. And the most common emotion is that person is angry. That person is upset. That person is frustrated. Those are just 3 emotions right now. And what you want to do is label those emotions. Hey, sir, I've been listening to you, and you are angry. And this is the cool thing, right? If you're wrong about labeling the emotion, what happens? If you're wrong, they're going to correct you. No, I'm not angry. I'm frustrated. That's good. So now you're communicating, right? Another extreme example. Hey, sir, it looks like, I mean, you don't want to be a smart ass, but I just want to show you guys an example. Hey, sir or ma'am, it looks like you are very proud. You're very happy about the level of service you're receiving today. Okay, so look, you're wrong in that emotion. We call it labeling emotions. So what's going to happen? They're going to correct you. No, I'm pissed. Okay, you're pissed. Let's talk about that. So when you're able to label the emotion, many times the person might be taken aback and saying to themselves, wait a minute, this person's listening to me. I'm being heard right now. That's something that's not usual when I'm this frustrated. Nobody listens. But if you label the emotion, you're obviously listening. And then I was listening so I interviewed Anthony from Radio Concepts. Make sure you guys check out the video. He does have a unique way of de-escalating situations, and he does the same thing that I did. I would say, especially if you're in a store, hey, there's a lot of people talking over us right now. It is so hard to hear. I really want to be able to understand your frustrations and the source of your anger. Can we talk outside where it's a little bit more quiet? Now guys, if you can take that person outside on their own, you are like a 90%, 80 to 90% a winner already. Like you won. If you're able to relocate them on their own will, that's an awesome thing. Okay, and then you're gonna listen. Okay, hey, I heard you say something about the store didn't want to accept your return. Can you tell me more about that? And guys, I'm telling you, sometimes the store manager comes out, hey, I just want that person to leave. I just want this person to leave. Like, in my mind, I just want to tell these people, just shut up. You hired me for a reason. Just shut up. If you want to deal with him, then I'm going to leave. But that's not a good de-escalation measure, right? But, you know, this is a process that you go through in your mind. But in a kind way, hey, you know, you're going to address maybe the manager of the store. Hey, sir, I'll convey all the messages. Let me talk to this person real quick. Just give me a few. I got it. Don't worry, and we'll talk about it soon. Like, just give me a couple minutes. If you're able to assign that person that wants your attention, like maybe the manager, a task. So maybe, hey, you know what? I see that there's a customer wearing a blue shirt that has some questions for you. I'm not saying make it up, but use your situational awareness skills to your benefit. Okay, give them something to do. Like, let's just say if you have an item in your hand, I don't know, guys, a flashlight, a notepad, and this is the manager that will not go away. Like, hey, do you mind putting this on my desk so I can keep my hands free? Okay. I think a lot of managers understand, hey, security needs to keep their hands free. Hey, can you put my phone on the desk in my office or in the security office so I can keep my hands free? Okay, so figure a way how to get that person out. And then now you relay the message to the person, hey, I just got him out of here. I just got him out of here. Right? Tell me what's up. What is bothering you? You're obviously upset. You're angry. And it looks like I would be too. I kind of get your story, and I would be too. Can you tell me more? But obviously take them away. Encourage them to come with you somewhere somewhere away where they cannot create a show. You know, a lot of these people, they just want to create a show. They just want to have an audience, and you want to try your best to take them away. Now, guys, I'm not telling you to go into the deep corner and talk to this individual, especially if it involves you endangering your officer's safety. I'm just saying, get away from the scene as safe as possible, as safe as feasible. And then that's when you ask them again, hey, you know, what happened? And all you're doing, you're just listening. And then next you're paraphrasing. And then try to come up with a solution. Like, hey, I understand you're pissed off, you're angry, you're upset because they wouldn't accept your return. I'm going to give you some information. Here's a 1-800 number, right? Or this is if you got a direct number to like a corporate or something like that, that's so much better. Just, hey, you know what? My suggestion to you, I really hope that you get this resolved. I hope you get your money back. Can you give it like an hour? Give it an hour and then call this number. Or hey, give it like 50 minutes and then call this number. Many times, like with like McDonald's and the major chain stores, you can call a 1-800 number and speak to somebody, and that gives them time to cool off. Being a police supervisor for a long time, at the scene, people get pissed off, they get angry, and then an hour later, the situation has it just calmed and they're willing to talk. So these are my de-escalation tips for you guys. It has worked for me. I mean, honestly, I went from lots of fights to almost zero. Yes, obviously I'm not as active anymore in law enforcement, right? But when the guys go out to the heated calls, I'm there all the time, and I'm observing and I'm trying to see the best strategies possible. And I, I think the best way of doing that is when stakes matter. I mean, I'm involved in real life situations, just like you guys, and I am able to use the tools in the toolbox, right? And I am able to see what works and what doesn't work. And sometimes nothing works. That happens sometimes with me, but when nothing works, it's usually because that person that you're dealing with has clouded judgment. And they have clouded judgment because of a mental health illness or because they're intoxicated with a controlled substance or alcohol. If there's too much intoxication going on, sometimes you can't bring them to the better state of mind. Obviously I changed dates and times. We'll just say last week, there was an individual that was arrested, and all that person wanted, like, he didn't want to go in the prisoner partition, the cage. Well, that's not a good, we normally don't. Cops, security call it the cage or the back of the unit. I think the correct term is a prisoner partition. He didn't want to go in there. Honestly, guys, when I started, you know how we got people in there? We just forced them in there. We just shoved them in there. We had one officer standing next to that person that didn't want to go inside, and then we had another officer go on the other side, and whatever it takes, you grab a body part and you drag them in, and they get in, or you hobble them and you throw them in. But I've used different tactics the last like 12 years, maybe even longer than that. Totally different tactics. So I would ask them, what's preventing you from going inside the back of the unit? Like, why don't you want to go in there? And then so yesterday or last night, the individual said, I just don't want to be hurt. I don't want you guys to hurt me when you're putting me back there, because I go through dialysis, and all I want you to do is feel this dialysis connection. I'm like, well, that's disgusting. But he had a shirt on. I said, sure, no problem. I'll feel it. I said, if I feel it, you feel comfortable going inside? So he's like, yes. So I just touched it, and I said, we're going to take care of you, okay? We're going to make sure that you're not hurt. We're going to make sure that we accommodate your health conditions. If you feel uncomfortable at any point in time, you let me know. We got a deal? He said, deal. He went in the back, didn't even have to shove him in the back. He went on his own. And I see all of these videos on YouTube and social media where officers are just, shoving people in the units. And that was me, because I didn't have any other, tools in the toolkit. And doing so, it's. I mean, you have to be able to articulate it. It's justified. I mean, you can use force to put somebody in the unit, but the optics of it look terrible. And at the end of the day, can you not do it a better way? And that's me starting. So I started a security at age 18. I walked into the security office of a mall on my 18th birthday, and then I was in a black and white patrol car at 21. I'm 25 right now. 25. I'm not 25. I'm 45. I'm 45 right now. Do the math. I have a lot of years of experience. And I've totally changed the way that I interact with people. And again, I went from using a lot of force, justified force, to almost nothing. So those are my tips. If you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. If you want to get trained on the best de-escalation techniques possible, let me know. Send me an email. ssundahl@crimebullet.com. If you own a security company, maybe a hospital or a university, and you want to be trained in de-escalation, just get a hold of me. Get a hold of me. If the numbers are right, I can go down and do a class. It's worth it. So this class I'm talking about, I took a class that was called verbal judo, or not verbal judo. It was called critical incident or critical communications or something like that. I forgot the name of it. It's a private security class. I took it at the La Puente Valley ROP in the 90s, right? Guys, there was no requirement in private security to take any class other than the 8-hour guard car class. And actually, I honestly don't think it was even weapons of mass destruction. I think it was just 8 hours of guard card or 4. I don't remember. And then they give you a pink slip, and then you could work like the minute after. That's how dated back I go. No training required, no continuing education required. And on my own, being an 18-year-old kid, I've always wanted to de-escalate situations. Like, I wanted to try the best techniques possible, so I took a class on it. Didn't get paid overtime. Paid out of my own pocket. I think it was like $15 for the class. And it was one of the best classes that I've ever taken in my life. Now, I think I've created, I don't want to say better content, but I pressure tested those techniques over a 27-year career. And I've went through so much other training. The latest training was at Cal State Long Beach. I took the post use of force de-escalation course. It's a 3-day class, 24 hours. And I'm constantly continuing my education on the best de-escalation techniques possible. And I would like to share those techniques with you guys. Even in the hospital, guys, I have experience working in a hospital where you have 2 psych wards where they're held longer than 72 hours. I think it's called 5152 or something. I don't know what the section is. And I would be on patrol on these psych wards, de-escalating situations. Sometimes you just can't. You just can't. So it's not a magic solution. It does take some time, but I kind of wish that we had the knowledge that we have today in the 90s. I think I would have been better off. We never had scenario-based training, so all of it was. I don't know if it was PowerPoint. At that point in time in history in the 90s, we had a projector. Oh my goodness, it would make a lot of noise. You guys that are dating yourself like me, you hear a lot of noise. You write on some transparent film, and then everything's like black and white. It was lecture, and it was that. There was PowerPoint. I don't even think was invented back then. And the instructors would just talk about it. There's no interaction at all. There's no body-worn camera footage. We just have some cool technology. There's a lot of scenarios that I want to run you guys through with like active role playing. And I don't want to create a boring 4-hour class where people fall asleep. Like, I want to interact with everybody. I want to role play and then critique. So if you're interested in this type of training, shoot me an email. Go to my website, crimebullet.com, see what other things I offer. I might be partnering with different companies or a different company on this if they're interested. I don't see a lot of companies interested. I think that they ought to be, considering this is essentially a customer service class. I mean, that's what it is, guys. It's customer service. Now, part of the continuing education in California is you have to take a customer relations class. I think it's called communication and its significance. It's a mandatory elective, but I think that I could teach it. I don't want to say the best, but I can give you guys your money's worth. I'm really, really passionate about the topic. There's a lot of trainers out there. They just do it just for the money, but I really want to give you guys better tools. And guys, I get excited when I'm over here training like 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds and 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds, the younger guys out there, younger generation, because that was me. That was me when I started, and we don't have what we have today. So that's it. If you guys are interested, let me know. Also, Chad Bianco event, January 24th. So far, I got two I got 2 people that are willing to get some seats. $140 buys you a seat at the VIP table. There's 8 seats per table. So I need to sell 8 tickets. So we get our own seating. And for 1 hour before the meeting starts, before the dinner starts, oh, by the way, it's tri-tip dinner, great dinner. Chad Bianco will answer any questions, and you get to talk to him. You get to interact with him directly. Chad Bianco is running for governor in California. If you don't want to pay $140, you can go to the general public seating for $20 less and be part of the larger group. The more of security that shows up, the more likely he's going to address security questions. But if we get a table, and I want to get a table with us, he'll answer questions directly from our table. This is, some of you are saying, "Wow, Chad Bianco, I don't want to vote for him." Then don't, right? It's the whole intent of this. It's not really like promoting Chad Bianco. It's more so of us getting together as an industry and talk about pressing issues and networking and just dialoguing. That's what it's about. Because I'll tell you guys this, Cal Saga, sooner than later, they're going to bring Chad Bianco to one of their events. And Allied, or the bigger companies, they're going to wine and dine him. We are a grassroots operation. Let's do this before Cal Saga does this. They're going to do that. And pretty soon, Chad Bianco is not going to be accessible. He is. I know Imperial County is far. We're on the bottom part of Southern California. But this is a chance where we get to all work together. We get to network, exchange conversations. It has more to do with networking, with bringing us together, than endorsing Chad Bianco. If you want to endorse some of the other politicians, I don't care. I don't care. If there's a politician that you believe, or somebody you believe will make a better governor, if you have a venue going, I'll go. I'll go as long as it's, if it's within my budget, I'll go. But nobody is setting up these events. You have a lot of talkers, but nobody is acting on anything. There's a lot of people complaining, we should get this law passed or that law passed, or we should do this. Like, you're not doing nothing. You have no room at the table. So those who open their mouth and complain is not a good client or a good governor. He won't make a good governor. I understand. I get it. But do something. Who is? Well, not him. All right. So that's all I got. Send me an email if you're interested. Some of the tables are being sold out by the farmers. All right. So we need, hopefully we get enough tickets sold, guys. I mean, if you know anybody, have them sign up for the event. Because if not enough people sign up for the event, Sheriff Chad Bianco is not coming down. He's not coming down. And that's not to say that we won't do our own events in the future, but I mean, heck, I cannot make good tri-tip steak. And this place that's called the old schoolhouse or something like that, they make some really good steak, guys. Matter of fact, I'm hungry for one of those steaks. All right, guys. Goodbye, and be safe out there.